How are we doing, guys? LOSSIS TV, Leeds United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, and the player analysis show makes a return. It's been a couple of weeks, guys. I do apologise for that, but to be honest, in the Christmas period, it was difficult finding time between games to put this together. But second half of the season, I do aim to do a lot more of these kind of videos. If you're new to these kind of videos, it's basically player ratings from last season. It is player ratings in effect, but with a little more analysis into it. You know, the stats of the game, any individual stats that are interesting, and any sort of patterns we can sort of, you know, see from the game itself. So you'll see as we go along, guys. Anyway, so let's start off with Kiko Casilla. Wow. Let's be honest, Kiko is massively out of form at the minute. I've alluded to it in my review. I think Kiko, this is a game where you look at, and I think it's a game where you look at for a lot of players and you say, you know what, if we want to finish in the top two, when players are out of form, there's no doubt Kiko Casilla is a good goalkeeper, but he's out of form at the minute, and it happens in football. There's two ways you can go about it. You allow the player to play himself out of form, or you drop him out of the team, put someone else in, and go from there. You know, there's two ways you sort of deal with it, really. You know, he either plays himself out of form, or you have to drop him and then bring him back into the team at a later date. You know, it's not really a right or wrong answer, but for me, right now, looking at the top two race, looking at what's costing us games at the minute, defensive errors, goalkeeping errors, and what are costing us games at the minute. Finishing chances is the problem as well. Don't get me wrong. But right now, 13 goals were conceded in the last 6 games. Over 2 goals a game for a team trying to finish in the top 2. That's not good enough. We've got to take action now. Because I don't want to be offensive to any of the teams we've played or show any disrespect to him, but we have played some fairly average teams. You know, Birmingham, we're conceding 4 goals against Birmingham. You know, Sheffield Wednesday, maybe it's a bit harsh saying they're average. They were good yesterday, to be fair, but they have been inconsistent. You know, 3 games in a row they've lost before today. And yeah, they're having doubts about the season going into this game, but we conceded 2 goals against them. No disrespect again, but if you want to finish in the top 2, you've got to keep clean sheets, and that's the basis of how we've got to where we are in the league. The clean sheets before this kind of 6-game run we've been on. And I think now's the time where you look at Kiko and you say, it was a messy performance. It really was a messy performance, not just because of the mistake on the first goal. I just thought all afternoon on crosses, he really struggled to Kiko. You know, I just never looked like he was going to try and catch the ball, always trying to punch the ball, but it's fine punching the ball. You know, I do always prefer a keeper who tries to catch the ball, but if you're going to punch a ball, you've got to get the ball away. You've got to get a lot on it. You just got to make sure you get it out of the danger area, but every single time Kiko went to punch a ball, he was punching it downwards, back into dangerous areas, and a massive chance fell to Sam Winnell before they scored as well, so he got away with one really before his first mistake. So for me, I've got to be very critical of Kiko. I am naturally critical of goalkeepers. I don't have a lot of tolerance, you know, for, you know, keepers who struggle on crosses. I've got to be honest on that. I think Kiko has massively improved that side of his game before this kind of 6-game winning run. I think ever since the Cardiff game, I say 6-game winning run, I mean the 6-game poor run. I meant to say the 7-game winning run. But anyway, the Cardiff game, I think ever since that, I think it has had a massive effect on the confidence of Kiko and the team in general. So yeah, I'll go 3 out of 10 for Kiko. Stats wise, didn't make any saves, conceded from both shots on target. Just looking at the stats down here, had a pretty decent passing accuracy, but again, you're looking at it and thinking the bread and butter of Kiko's game, he failed to do yesterday, so 3 out of 10 for me. Next one, Luke Ayling. Luke Ayling, I think on the second goal, you know, I know it's a fantastic pass off Barry Bannon, fantastic pass. You know, you don't expect that kind of situation, but again, he's lost track of the left winger. You know, he's completely lost track of the left winger of Adam Reach. Fantastic pass off Bannon. I will make that point first and foremost. That wasn't what made the second goal. But Luke Ayling's got to be following in there. He's got to be cutting out or reading the danger better there for me. He was miles away from Adam Reach, never recovered to stop the cross. He has to take part of the responsibility for the second goal. But in his general game, I didn't think it was too bad. I thought it was mostly solid. I thought, to be fair, he did a pretty good job on Adam Reach over the 90 minutes. But again, he's been part of a defence that's conceded 2 goals. I'm going to have to go 5, 6 out of 10 tops. You know, you have to be critical. You know, when you're costing your team goals, that's the be all and end all, isn't it? Really. Of a defender's game anyway. I thought going forward he'd do okay. Second half, a little bit sloppy, giving the ball away a couple of times. But yeah, not too bad. In the final third, I thought there was a few decent little bits, some pieces off Luke Ayling. He got forward well enough. Yeah, but a pretty poor afternoon all in all. So certainly on the second goal, you've got to be massively critical there. Normally that's a situation that Luke Ayling deals with really well. So 5 out of 10 for me. Ben White, Ben White by far the strongest of the defence. By far the strongest of the defence. And I thought Ben White, to be fair, for much of the game was back to his best today. I thought some of his passing was fantastic. He was the player who was trying to take risks with the ball. And yeah, I thought he was superb at times in the game. I can't pin any either goal on Ben White. No, absolutely not. You know, he's done absolutely nothing wrong in the game. He's been unlucky to be part of the defence that's conceded 2 goals. And yeah, I didn't think he did anything wrong defensively. You know, okay, maybe you could say a couple of times he lost a few of his headers in the box and that lot. But other than that, yeah, I think it's a pretty solid performance of Ben White. Unfortunately, he's been involved in the team that's conceded 2 goals. But yeah, I mean, he saw plenty of the ball. That's not always a good sign. When your defender's seeing a lot of the ball, 92 passes for him. I'll go on to Liam Cooper in a minute. You know, when your defender's seeing your top 2 passes on the pitch for your defenders, that's a worrying sign. It means you're not getting the ball into the midfield areas quick enough, and we're not really playing the ball in areas that were ever going to hurt Sheffield Wednesday. I said this in the review. We weren't getting the ball into the dangerous areas. We weren't taking the risky passes, and the only person who was trying to do that, well, 2 people, was Ben White, Calvin Phillips, and Ben White is by far the most successful on that. 7 out of 10 for me. That might be a bit slightly harsh 7 out of 10 as well. Next to a review is Liam Cooper, another player like Kiko Casilla, where I said in the match preview, I think Liam Cooper's been making a lot of mistakes lately. You know how much of a fan of Liam Cooper I am. I think he's a fantastic captain. I think he's a really good centre back. I just think he's out of form at the minute. I think maybe whether it's match fitness, I don't know. I just think something doesn't quite seem right with Liam Cooper at the minute. You know, I think performance-wise, it just doesn't quite seem as composed as we expect Liam Cooper to be. You know, I think before this kind of 6-game run we've gone on, he hadn't made a mistake all season. I genuinely hadn't made a mistake all season. Been absolutely rock solid. But I think when you go to the Preston game, ever since that, I think just hasn't quite seemed the same off Liam Cooper. Today, I have to say both goals, I think Liam Cooper should do better on. You know, I think the first goal, I think he should be closing down a lot quicker. Jacob Murphy's, he's just allowed, in fact he stopped really and just allowed Jacob Murphy to have the shot, albeit from a tight angle you'd never expected to score from, but you've got to be trying to stop the shot, put Jacob Murphy under a bit of pressure, force him wide, do anything, just deal with the situation. Liam Cooper didn't, sadly. It wasn't just Liam Cooper, LUFC should have tracked him better. But when you push that far out wide, you've got to deal with the situation. You can't just let Jacob Murphy have the shot. For me, that's a mistake of Liam Cooper. It's not just a mistake of Liam Cooper, but he's played his part in that goal as well. Second goal, he's completely lost Nuyu, completely lost him. Watching it back on the highlights, he has really. And to be that sort of far off Nuyu when the ball's coming to the box isn't great, really isn't great. He needs to be getting across there, getting there first, hasn't got there first, and the goals happened. It's far too easy for Nuyu. He probably could have took a touch and still scored. You know, that was how far away Liam Cooper was from Nuyu in the box. Got to mark him better than that, and that's normally a strength of Liam Cooper's. Has a massive strength of Liam Cooper's, to be fair. So yeah, I think Liam Cooper's another one like Kiko Casilla, where I look at Berardi's performance against Arsenal and think Berardi's been hard done to there. You know, Liam Cooper, as much as I do think Liam Cooper's the better defender, I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at the form situation, the confidence of both Liam Cooper and Kiko Casilla compared to Meslier and Berardi, and I've got to say, I think changes need to be made there. I think we've got to be ruthless and say, okay, look, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not saying Kiko and Liam Cooper are not better than Meslier and Berardi necessarily. I'm just saying that you have to look at the situation right now and forget about what's happened three or 4 months ago, all over the last 3 or 4 months. It's all about what's happened the last couple of weeks. You know, that's what's going to affect us going into the next game, not what happened in August and September. But yeah, it's all around performance. His stats, to be fair, you look at his stats down there and they're not bad at all. You know, his stats aren't bad at all, but it's just 2 key. In fact, I've got to say as well, Liam Cooper put in a fantastic defensive header in that first half, which completely put off Jacob Murphy. Dangerous ball into the box. Sheffield Wednesday's only real chance of that first half. And Liam Cooper's just got his head on it and just put Jacob Murphy off enough where he was on a really good angle to score from. So you have to say, good bit of defending there for Liam Cooper. But all in all, I thought it was a messy performance off Liam Cooper. You know, on 2 goals, he has to take his responsibility on both goals for me. I'll go 4 out of 10 for Liam Cooper. Left back, Barry Douglas. First half, I thought Barry Douglas was absolutely fine. Defensively, in the second half, it was a struggle. You know, I think Jacob Murphy was starting to win that battle for sort of 2 or 3 minutes, and Barry Douglas was taken straight off. Look, I said in the review, I disagreed with that decision, but Barry Douglas' performance himself was pretty average, really. He put in a lovely ball into the box, for Helder Costa. Unfortunately, Helder Costa has hit it over the bar. From a real angle, we'd expect Helder Costa to score from, or at least get it on target. But yeah, not a massively critical of Barry Douglas. I don't think he should have come off. I should think he should 100% start the next game. But yeah, I think obviously defensively there was a little bit of a struggle from time to time. But yeah, I didn't like to see Barry Douglas coming off. I thought there was definitely other players would like to see him come off before Barry Douglas. That's just my personal opinion on that. 6 out of 10 for me. Nothing else to really comment on Barry Douglas's performance. Next, and for me, the best player on the pitch for us yesterday by quite a distance, Calvin Phillips. I thought Calvin was fine yesterday. Not the best Calvin Phillips performance ever, but I thought he was nice and solid. 4 tackles in the game, most tackles on the pitch, 80% success rate, 61 passes, 85% accuracy, a couple of key passes as well. And what really impressed me as well was his distribution on the long passing as well. He completed 9 long passes, and I think he completed 9 out of the 13 long passes as well, which is quite an outstanding ratio. You know, he wasn't giving the ball away a lot. Nice little passing accuracy and taking risky passes as well. You know, it's easy to get passing accuracies in the 90-95% range, but when you're taking risky passes as well, that's impressive stuff of Calvin. I thought he was good yesterday. And yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that the game went the way it did, but I thought he did his job really well, to be fair. So I'll go 7 out of 10. Next, Helder Costa on the right hand side has some lovely moments in the game. You know, in that first half, we needed someone to try and break down Sheffield Wednesday. He just completely, just did. Morgan Fox at left back, you know, he just drifted past him into the centre of the pitch, beat 2 or 3 players, and a nice little bit of end products at the end of it. Lovely ball into the box for Patrick Bamford's big chance in the second half. Unfortunately, he doesn't score, but yeah, that's 2 big moments in the game there of Helder Costa, and he showed real moments of quality, but again, not enough of it. 30 touches of the ball, 1 key pass, 1 dribble, one dribble completed, 2 crosses. It's not a lot of Helder Costa, and considering his recent form, his much improved form, you know, I think he's been good for us. Whether he's justifying that value, you know, Wolves have valued him at, I'm not so sure yet. But I think there's more to come off Helder Costa. I want to see it happen. That's the thing. You know, it's just getting a little bit frustrating now. I think with Pablo coming back into fitness, I think the pressure's on Helder Costa now. I think if he does start the next game, he's got to perform in that next game. If you look at Pablo, you know, you want Pablo in his best position. The pressure is now on Helder Costa. He's got to really deliver and show that he's this £15 million player, because 30 touches of the ball, you know, and when we've had sort of 70% possession, you want more than that. You want him more involved in the game than that. You know, just again, some quality moments when he did get on the ball, but he has to do that more. You know, even if he's not getting the ball, he has to go and get the ball himself. You know, Pablo will do that. I want to see that with Helder Costa now. I think he's a very good player, maybe being overcritical, but I do think there's more to come, and we should expect more to come off Helder Costa at the minute. 6 out of 10 for me. By no means the worst player on the pitch, but I do expect more of Helder Costa in those kind of situations. Next, Mateusz Klich. Again, not really much to comment on. I thought he was decent enough first half, faded badly second half, maybe a bit harsh to take him off. 6 out of 10. There's no real stats there that really stand out. A really poor passing accuracy by Mateusz Klich standards of 70%. Next, Stuart Dallas lost the ball for the first goal. Really disappointing. I thought it was a messy performance all in all. Stats wise, not too bad. Nice passing accuracy, but what I will say about that passing accuracy was that Stuart Dallas was taking a lot of the easy options. But it's not Stuart Dallas's fault. That's what I want to make clear. I think Stuart Dallas has been one of our best players this season. Let's remember he's playing completely out of position. He's had to play out of position because of our lack of options, our injury, bad luck of injuries. But again, I think now with other options coming in, James Shackleton, Pablo Hernandez, etc., I think now's the time to say Stuart Dallas has got to revert back to a full-back role. 4 out of 10 for me. I think that mistake for the first goal, losing the ball in a really dangerous area when there was loads of different passing options, was really poor for me. So 4 out of 10 for Stuart Dallas. Jack Harrison, 5 out of 10. Again, he was more involved than Helder Costa, but we didn't really see any moments of quality. You know, crossing was pretty average. 3 crosses attempted, only 1 completed. No real stats that stand out. Lost the ball 8 times yesterday. So both our wingers lost the ball 14 times yesterday. That's too much. That's far too much. You know, if they were taking loads of risks and making things happen, I could accept that. But when you're losing the ball so much and not really involved in the play, that's really disappointing. He missed a good chance in the first half as well. So 5 out of 10 for Jack Harrison. Patrick Bamford, he had a lot of criticism for this game. He did miss a good chance. Unfortunately, he took the offside goal really well, to be fair. Lovely header for that. But that's another matter. All in all, not really involved in the game, only 25 touches. And yeah, just never really liked scoring yesterday. I thought he should have took his chance better than he did. He's just blazed it over the bar. I know it's on his weak foot, but disappointing on Patrick Bamford yesterday. 5 out of 10, missed some good chances and not really involved in it much. Alioski, a shocker really. First goal is completely off Shaker Murphy, which is forced Liam Cooper out wide and upset the whole balance there. I just thought it was a really disappointing performance off Alioski. I remember when he headed the ball out, Kiko could see his hands. He just didn't look comfortable at left back, and he's not a left back, to be fair. Let's remember that. I just think Alioski, when he plays on the left wing, comes on with 20 minutes to go. It's a great option to have off the bench. Movement into dangerous areas, he does that really well. His movement's fantastic. His finishing's really good too. That's where I want to see Alioski play. I don't want to see him play at left back because the discipline side of his game is not there. He's not disciplined enough to play the defensive role, and again, it's cost us another goal. And it's the same things. Like left side of the defence is a big problem at the minute. The goalkeeper's a big problem at the minute. We've got to address this situation now. When it's 6 games, it's not just 1 or 2 games. We're talking 6 games now, and tough games to come up as well. So 3 out of 10 for me for Alioski. A really poor performance. Some poor delivery into the box as well, with some good crossing opportunities. Pablo, again, not really much to comment on. He got involved a little bit, but he never looked comfortable in that central role. He has to play on the right wing for me. That's his best position. 5 out of 10 for me. There's not really much to talk about on that. And then Jordan Stevens, who came on for a couple of minutes, but I'm going to go a little bit higher for Jordan Stevens. I'm going to go 6 out of 10. He lost the ball a couple of times, but what I liked about Jordan Stevens was he tried to take the game to Sheffield Wednesday. He tries to take risks, and I like that from him. You know, he showed a lot of courage. He did the same against Arsenal. Again, nothing too major, no real major contributions, nothing you can make a highlights reel from. But I like that little, you know, little turn of pace, a couple of risky passes he tried. He tried to really change the game for me. So 6 out of 10 for Jordan Stevens. But all in all, guys, a really disappointing afternoon. Disappointing performances, and they're just disappointing all around. But guys, I've rushed that towards the end because I was rambling a little bit. But that's all you can say really, guys. Disappointing afternoon. Make sure you check out myself, Joe and Conor's match reviews of the game. And that's it really, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I've got a couple of big things planned for this week. A couple of nice little videos. So make sure you keep the notifications on. We'll definitely notify you when those videos are coming up anyway, guys. But I'm going to leave it there. Let us know what you thought about the player ratings and anything you would like me to do differently to improve the show. See you later, guys.